throws me off. And then going back, like you're trying to build a fucking fire start kit and it's not the right one. You're trying to put a fucking piece of bark and a stick together, and you're like, why isn't this fucking working? Or just
Damn. I've
two
been shot
sticks.
down. I should have dumped those bombs long before I let them kill me. Oh, well, it happens. I'm sitting here, got 3 airplanes, 4 tanks, and a kill assist. Doing alright, you ask me. I have a setting turned on to where the tank crew voices
Yep.
are in the languages of the crews.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, if you're playing as the German, like, if you're driving a German tank, the crew call outs and everything are in German. If you're in a Russian tank, call outs are in Russian, etc., etc. Well, that also applies to, like, premium vehicles that, like, for example, I have a premium uh, Sherman Firefly. It's a Polish Firefly,
Mm.
right? Used by the Polish Armor Division. And I have no clue what these guys are saying. I don't speak Polish. It sounds kind of funny though.
Mm.
Now I like that that's like an option. So like, say you're like Argentinian, right? Like you're from Argentina. There is a premium German tank, the TAM2 IP, which is improved protection. It's a like a light tank. It was a joint venture between Germany and Argentina,
Mm.
and yeah, you can actually have your tank crew in the TAM2 IP speaking not just in Spanish, but like Argentinian Spanish. Like they actually have Argentinian voice lines, which I think is so cool. Like the Argentinian tank crew voice lines and the Spanish uh, tank crew lines, and so on and so forth. They all sound different. And I just think that's really cool. So
Yeah.
obviously, there's only a few big players when it comes to like military vehicles. You've got Germany, you've got Russia, you've got the U.S., you've got like the British, right? The French, the Italians, the Chinese. Believe it or not, Sweden has a lot of unique vehicles, and then Israel was added into the game because they also have a lot of like unique modifications of
I
vehicles
was
and whatnot.
just thinking about how many weird Swiss guns there were when you mentioned fuck, now I can't remember the other country. When you
But yeah,
mentioned Italian, and then
Sweden.
that reminded me of
Oh,
the Italians. They have some weird looking stuff too.
yeah, for sure. And so really it started with like just the major players of World War II, and then it's just expanded from there.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a World War II game anymore. It used to it was a World War II game, and then they added in more stuff to where it was like, okay, well now it's getting kind of like into the 1950s, like the Cold War, and then like, okay, now it's in the 1960s, and then so on and so forth, and it's just expanded ever since. I've been playing this game for almost 10 years now, so I've watched it grow, and it is crazy. When I started playing, uh, Japan just got tanks. Because when the
Damn.
game
Okay.
started out, it didn't have tanks at all. It was just an airplane game, and then they added tanks in after, and now tanks is like the more popular game mode. But um, just because it's like easier to get into, that and it's tanks, they're cool. But when I started playing, the U.S. had an aircraft and a tank tree. The Russians had an aircraft and a tank tree. The Germans had an aircraft and a tank tree. The Italians had an aircraft tree. The Japanese, like I said, they just got their tanks. It was just aircraft, and they had just gotten their tanks. Um, no, the Italians weren't in the game at all. My bad. Because I still have Italian planes in my German tech tree.
Oh damn. Okay.
War Thunder, they wanted to set like a record, and so they added in a bunch of like Italian airplanes, like World War II planes, into the German tech tree
Yep.
to kind of like boost the numbers or whatever. And they just stayed there. Like you could research them and everything. But then once they added the Italian tech tree, they took it out of the German tree. Like if you already researched it, you get to keep it.
Yep.
But if you hadn't researched it, it's like no longer available.
Damn.
So I'm one of those. I'm like, yeah, I'm an old head. I've got Italian. Oh fuck. I've got Italian planes in my German tree. But is my cat snoring? My cat is snoring quite loudly.
Nice. Yeah, my cat does that
Let's see.
too.
Okay, now that I'm looking, there were only tanks and there were only planes. There was no helicopters, there was no naval. And it was US, Germany, Russia, and the British had tanks and planes. The Japanese, like I said, just got their tanks and planes. And that was it. Uh, the most modern vehicles were Korea War era for aircraft. So MiG-15s, MiG-17s, F-86 Sabres. And Me-262s for the Germans. And like the Meteor for the British. Tanks, it was like the Centurion for the British, the I want to say the M48 Patton for the United States. Like the T-55 for the Russians, and like the Panther II and the Mouse for the Germans. And then now it's modern day equipment. Like literally, the U.S. has the M1A2 SEP V2 Abrams, which is the current main battle tank of the United States Army. Like the SEP V3 just came out like 3 years ago. Um, for aircraft, modern day, F-16Cs. That's what we still fly today. F-15Es. Do you remember hearing about that massive, like, drone and missile attack that Iran launched against Israel last year?
I've heard of a lot of drone attacks. Too many
Well, it
recently
was
for
a
me to
massive
remember.
one. It was a massive one, and the U.S. actually stepped in to help defend and shoot a bunch of them down. We were using
Oh,
F-15Es.
yep, I remember that. Yep.
That's in the game. The F-15C is in the game. We've got the F-14 Tomcats, the A-10C, the current version of the A-10. We've got that in the game. Russia has the Su-27SM, which is like their mainline fighter. It entered service in like 2004. The Su-25 SM-3, that's what they're flying over Ukraine now. The Su-34, that entered service in like 2012. Uh, the British and the Italians and the Germans have the Eurofighter Typhoon. That's like the modern like NATO fighter right now. The French have the Rafale. Uh, China has the J-11A, which is like a copy of the Su-27, and the J-10A, which is like their copy of the Eurofighter. That's their main like fighters that they have currently in service right now. Sweden has the Gripen. I mean, it's the Gripen C, so it's one step below what they have now, but it's still a Gripen. Israel has their versions of the F-15C, the F-16C, and the F-15E. Um, there are multiple vehicles in this game, as far as like tanks go now, that were like designed and entered service um, after this game came out. They have for the British, they have the Challenger 3 technology demonstrator. It's supposed to be their next generation main battle tank that's supposed to start entering service in 2035. Yeah, it's in this game. Oh, where's the funny one at? Hang on. Yeah, the T-90M entered service with the Russian army in April of 2020. War Thunder launched in 2014.
Damn, they're around.
My bad, 2012. It released in open beta in November of 2012 and had a worldwide release in January of 2013. So, 8 years before the T-90 entered service, War Thunder came out. Which is crazy to think. They have, they've added helicopters, ranging from like Vietnam era Hueys to state-of-the-art modern attack helicopter gunships. They've added naval forces, because of the way that naval combat works. It's still mostly like World War One, like battleships, but like World War II cruisers and destroyers and stuff. Just because that's how it is. I mean, they're finally adding in like World War II battleships, but like the USS Tennessee, it's the 1943 refit. The USS Arizona, it's the 1938 refit, and that's the end of the line. That's like one of the top American battleships is the Arizona, which obviously didn't survive Pearl Harbor. But it's crazy how much this game has evolved since I started playing it. Now there's almost 3,000 unique vehicles. It's not counting duplicated vehicles because basically every country gets a Sherman because Shermans were everywhere.
Yeah.
Came out to almost 3,000 unique vehicles is crazy, bro. I just wish they'd do something about how hard it is to like grind stuff out because I have 6,000 hours in the game. Admittedly, not all of it has been spent like hardcore grinding. But like I don't even have a third of the vehicles in this game. Actually, I say that I'd have to count. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that. I think that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
There's too many.
I'm gonna count. I need to get a new count of how many premiums I have because I have bought quite a few since my last count. My last count was like 324 or something like that. I have so many fucking premium vehicles in this game, dude. Half of them haven't even been because, oh, I'm trying to grind this country, let me buy this premium vehicle so I get the research bonuses. Half of it's just, oh, that's cool, let me go ahead and buy that.
Yeah.
Like, I spent, what was it, like, 40 bucks? 30, 40 bucks on a, it was actually a pack, so it was, 2 Tiger tanks and an AA. And the thing is, the Tiger tanks, the only difference between them and what you can get for free just by playing the game in the tech tree is the cosmetics. And obviously they're premium, so you get the extra silver lines, like the silver currency and the extra research points. Which the research points aren't even going to help me because I've passed that point in the German tech tree. But I just bought them because they look cool.
I swear in Sakhal, nobody messes with the military base on top of the hill. Like on top of the mountain or
I wouldn't be
whatever.
surprised. I mean, it's not really worth it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's easy, semi-easy to get up, and that's where I get all my clothes really quick. I don't know. Like, I've always gone here, and it's funny, I'll go here, get semi-kitted up, and then head straight down to the Panhandle afterwards. And I literally have, like, rounds where I've dominated all the way through and held the Panhandle from other people getting in.
I know, I was overstaying my welcome there. I'm heavy enough. I need to offload some of this ordnance. I almost dropped that perfectly. That's fucking gay. I didn't get a single kill. I dropped 3 bombs, didn't get a single kill. That kills this. I'll take that. It's on that plane though.
Oh!
Oh, did you find somebody?
Yep.
You dead?
Nope. I'm going into game. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me down there? That hurt. You, are you still down there? shit, I'm out of ammo. Don't kill me, I'm no more bullets. That was literally the last one. The last bullet. Oh.